morning to you out there. This is African Free Press Television, where we report Africa from a refreshing perspective. Guess you had a very good weekend. My name is Leah Oketa.
And I'm Bridget.
And these are the stories coming from our news desk. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has launched a fresh investigation into the alleged diversion of 4.4 billion naira from the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency into the accounts of top officers of the Nigerian Air Force. Retired Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade and former Director of Finance and Accounting of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore S.A. Shao, signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Nigerian Maritime Sector, NIMASA, on August 26, 2013. As part of the MOU, the Air Force was supposed to carry out aerial surveillance, reconnaissance, search and rescue, tactical airlift, enforcement, and provide intelligence support to NIMASA, which would aid in the fight against piracy, illegal bunkering, and pipeline vandalism. In furtherance of the MOU, EFCC investigations allege that 4.4 billion naira was transferred from the bank account of NIMASA to Nigerian Air Force account, and then to the private accounts of the Air Force men who set up dummy oil companies under the pretext that the companies were supplying aviation fuel to the Nigerian Air Force.
And meanwhile, Senator David Mark emerged winner of the Rerun election conducted in Benue South Senatorial District by the Independent National Electoral Commission last Saturday. Immediate past Senate President and candidate of People's Democratic Party defeated his closer rival, Mr. Daniel Onje of All Progressive Congress, after winning in 5 of the 9 local government areas of Benue South Senatorial District. Senator Mark polled a total of 84,192 votes to beat Daniel Onje of the All Progressive Congress with 71,621 votes. Returning officer of the electoral body, Mr. Ishak Energy, while declaring the results, said that Senator Mark met all the requirements during the conduct of the poll, having majority of the total votes cast.
And 2 militant groups in the Niger Delta region have declared their readiness to confront the federal government in battle for its refusal to release the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and director of Radio Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. The group's concerned militant leaders, CML and Niger Delta People's Democratic Front, made the declaration last weekend in separate statements in Port Harcourt, River State, following reports that there were plans by the federal government to use witnesses in mask to testify against the leader of IPOB, who was charged for treason in court. Reacting to the reports, leaders of the two groups, General Ben and Precious Iyoyo, stated that since President Muhammadu Buhari-led government was determined to cause problem in the country, particularly in the south and southeast zones, by stubbornly refusing to release Kanu, the groups were ready to cripple the economy.
And still in line, a federal high court sitting in Abuja has refused an application for secret trial of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and the director of Radio Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. In his ruling, Justice James Soho held that the application was not appropriate in the circumstances as the matter before the court is not a terrorism case. He, however, barred the press from disclosing names and addresses of witnesses who will be testifying in the course of the trial. The judge also retained an earlier order of February 9th which granted the request to allow family members and interested members of the public to attend the trial subject to the capacity of the court and security check of the people.
And the alleged 45.9 billion fraud preferred against a former Niger Delta militant, Mr. Government Ekpemopolo, also known as Tompolo, has taken a new twist when Justice Ibrahim Buba of the Federal High Court in Lagos ordered the forfeiture of multi-billion naira properties belonging to the former militant leader. Specifically, the judge ordered the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to take possession of the concerned assets pending when Tompolo would make himself available to answer charges against him and 9 others. The judge said if Tompolo refused to appear within 3 months of the order, the federal government may proceed to auction the assets and other properties.
And meanwhile, the Nigerian military has said it is yet to confirm the speculation over an arrest of Boko Haram kingpin popularly known as Bashiru Sarkin Yanka. which in Hausa means Bashir the King of Slaughter, and who had been acting as Abubakar Shekau in some videos on the social media. Local security volunteer group known as Civilian JTF in Konduga local government area of Borno State claimed that he had arrested the notorious Boko Haram kingpin. The arrested suspect was reported to have confessed to the civilian JTF that he had acted as Boko Haram leader Shekau in some videos and was responsible for the death of his mother, 2 sisters and brother, apart from engaging in mass slaughter. However, a spokesperson of the Operation Lafia Doli in the Southeast Air Commodore Dele Alonge said the military would not confirm the arrest of the Shekau's actor yet. He said the military had sustained its counter-insurgency operations where some terrorists had been eliminated and others apprehended in the northeast.
And still in the country, President Muhammadu Buhari is to leave Abuja today for a week-long official visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. According to a statement issued by the Special Advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, in Abuja on Sunday, the President, who will be accompanied by a high-powered federal government delegation, including the Minister of State for Petroleum and Group Managing Director of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, will first fly to Riyadh for talks on Tuesday and with King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud and senior officials of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. According to the statement, crude oil prices and market stability will be top agenda of the President Buhari's official visit.
The former Nigerian Minister of Petroleum, Mrs. Diezani Alison Madueke, has strongly stated that all transactions made during her tenure went through due process, as against insinuations that she looted $20 billion. She made this known in London during an interview session with the CEO of Ovation magazine, Mr. Dele Momodu. Mrs. Madueke explained that virtually all transactions in respect of which allegations of corruption are being leveled against her went through due process, and that the group managing director of NNPC was actively involved in ensuring that the best international practices were maintained. She added that her involvement in the conclusion of these transactions was limited and that some of the contracts had been executed before she became Minister of Petroleum Resources. She noted that in some other cases she only got details after the contract had been concluded when approached by some businessmen who complained about the terms. She usually admonished them to forego the contract if they felt that they were not profitable and seek other ventures within the industry.
And now on the forest scene, the world's oldest leader, Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe, turned 92 on Sunday, with no plans to step down as the power struggle over his successors threatened to break up his ruling political party, the ZANU-PF. On Sunday, state media lauded President Mugabe for his leadership since independence from Britain in 1980, while the opposition urged him to consider stepping down. Last Thursday, at Zimbabwe's capital Harare, the 92-year-old president maintained that even though his party would choose a successor, he planned to contest the next election in 2018. But the main opposition party, the Movement for Democratic Change Zimbabwe, which has been on the grips of an economic crisis, would be better off if President Mugabe bows out.
And meanwhile, on the foreign scene, Prime Minister David Cameron has announced that he would hold a referendum on Britain's membership in the European Union (EU) on June 22. Cameron, speaking outside his number 10 Downing Street residence, claims to deal with other European Union leaders at a summit in Brussels, which he hopes will keep the country in the bloc. He met with his cabinet last Saturday morning, which agreed that the government's position would be to recommend that Britain remains in the European Union.
And these are the stories we're tracking for you coming from African Free Press Television this morning. For more, please do log on to our website at www.africanfreepress.com. Follow us on Twitter at African Free Press. Join us in our discussions on various interesting topics at African Free Press Forum. Like our Facebook page at africanfreepress.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at African Free Press. I still remain Leo Okada.
And I am Bridget.
Do enjoy the rest of your day.